I just wish you would listen to me.
I do listen. You just don't hear me.
You're never satisfied with anything I do.
Have you ever said something in anger and wished you could take it back? The words may have taken seconds to say, but their impact can last for years. A careless word can break trust. A harsh word can deeply wound. A sarcastic comment can remain in someone's memory long after you have forgotten saying it. That is why Proverbs takes our words seriously. Proverbs 18:21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." Think about that. Your words can give life, and your words can cause harm. You can tell someone, "I believe in you," and give them courage for years. Or you can repeatedly tell someone they are useless, foolish, or incapable until they begin to believe it. Words are not empty. They leave something behind. Proverbs 12:18 says, "There is that speaketh like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health." Some words pierce like a sword, others bring healing, and wisdom is knowing the difference. Proverbs does not simply teach us to speak, it teaches us to speak wisely. Because you can tell the truth and still hurt someone unnecessarily. You can be correct and still be cruel. You can win an argument and lose a relationship. Wisdom asks more than, "Is what I am saying true?" It asks, "Is this the right time? Is this the right way? Will these words help?" Because not everything that enters your mind needs to come out of your mouth. Sometimes the wisest thing you can say is nothing. Proverbs 21:23 says, "Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles." Think about how many problems could have been avoided if someone had simply stopped talking. One more insult, one more accusation, one more angry message. Sometimes trouble enters your life through a door called your mouth. You don't have to answer every accusation or respond to every provocation. Having something to say does not mean you should say it, especially when you are angry. Someone raises their voice, you raise yours. They become disrespectful, you become worse. They say something painful, you search for something more painful to say. Suddenly, two people who should be solving a problem are trying to hurt each other. Proverbs 15:1 says, "A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger." A wise response can calm a situation. A harsh response can make it worse. A soft answer does not mean you are weak. It means you are strong enough to remain in control of yourself. Anybody can explode, but it takes wisdom to remain calm when you have every opportunity to retaliate. Then there is another danger Proverbs repeatedly warns us about: gossip. It can sound harmless. "Did you hear what happened? I don't know if I should tell you this. Don't mention that I told you." But small whispers can create large wounds. Proverbs 16:28 says, "A froward man soweth strife, and a whisperer separateth chief friends." A whisperer can separate close friends, not necessarily through one enormous lie, but through repeated little comments. A suggestion here, a suspicion there, a private criticism shared with someone who didn't need to hear it. Gradually, trust disappears. So wisdom asks, is it true? But also, is it necessary? Is it helpful? Is it loving? Is it mine to tell? Not everything you know is yours to announce. But Proverbs does not only warn us about destructive speech, it also shows us the beautiful potential of our words. Your mouth can become an instrument of encouragement. Proverbs 16:24 says, "Pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul, and health to the bones." Your words can bring comfort, restore hope, and strengthen someone who is discouraged. I appreciate you. You did well. Don't give up. I believe you can get through this. Sometimes people don't need another voice reminding them how badly they have failed. They already know. They need someone wise enough to help them stand again. So pause before you speak. Ask yourself, will these words heal or hurt? Will they build or break? Will they bring peace or unnecessary conflict? Will they make this person stronger or smaller? Because every time you open your mouth, you are planting something, and eventually something grows. But there is something deeper than controlling your tongue. Your mouth is not the root of the problem. Your heart is. Jesus said in Luke 6:45, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Your words reveal what is happening inside you. When your heart is full of bitterness, bitterness finds its way into your speech. When it is full of pride, pride appears in the way you speak. When it is full of anger, your words become weapons. But when your heart is shaped by wisdom, grace, humility, and the fear of God, those things begin to appear in your speech. So if you constantly say things you later regret, don't only ask, how can I control my mouth? Ask, what is happening in my heart? Because you can change your vocabulary without changing your heart. You can sound polite while remaining bitter inside. You can learn the right Christian words while your private thoughts remain filled with resentment. God wants something deeper than controlled speech. He wants a transformed heart. Proverbs 4:23 says, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Guard your heart. Be careful what you repeatedly listen to, watch, and think about, because what fills your heart eventually influences your words. What begins as a thought can become a word. A word can become a habit. A habit can become a pattern, and a pattern can become a character. That is why wisdom deals with the heart before it deals with the tongue. So, what should you do? First, slow down before you speak. Give wisdom time to catch up with your emotions. Second, learn to apologize. There is nothing wise about defending words you know were wrong. Sometimes the strongest sentence you can speak is, I was wrong. Please forgive me. Third, don't use truth as an excuse for cruelty. You don't have to destroy someone simply because you have something truthful to say. Speak truth, but speak it with love. Fourth, refuse to participate in gossip. If the conversation would embarrass someone if they suddenly walked into the room, ask yourself whether you should be having it at all. Fifth, make encouragement part of your daily life. Tell someone you appreciate them. Encourage someone who is discouraged. Thank someone who is rarely thanked. Your words can become medicine. But what happens when someone speaks badly about you? Wisdom is also about controlling how you respond to what others say. You cannot control every accusation, insult, or rumor, but you can choose what comes out of you. Someone else's foolish words do not require a foolish response from you. You don't have to answer bitterness with bitterness. You don't have to answer insult with insult. Sometimes you can correct. Sometimes you can confront. Sometimes you can defend yourself. But sometimes wisdom says, let it go. Pray, remain calm, and keep walking. Because your character is revealed not only by what you say when everything is going well, but by what comes out of you when you are provoked. So, before you speak, pause. Before you respond, think. Before you repeat something, ask whether it needs to be repeated. Before you send that message, read it again. Before you answer in anger, give wisdom a moment to speak first. And before you ask God to change the words coming out of your mouth, ask Him to transform the heart from which those words are coming. Because the goal is not merely to become someone who speaks carefully. The goal is to become someone whose heart is so full of God's wisdom that wise words naturally begin to come out. So today, let your mouth become a source of life. Let your words build instead of break. Let them heal instead of wound. Let them encourage instead of discourage. And when silence is wiser, have the courage to remain silent. Remember, you cannot always control what people say about you, but you can choose what comes out of you. Every time you speak, you reveal something about the person you are becoming.
I was wrong.
So guard your heart, guard your tongue.
I'm sorry.
And ask God to make your words words that give life.
Thank you.
Because your words don't just describe your world, they help shape it. Choose them wisely.